Recording now. Very good. Okay. Go, go, go. Start.
Good evening. My name is Janine Kitson, independent for Bradfield. Welcome to my final webinar for 2021, where I thank you for your generous and kind donations to my Bradfield Can Do Better campaign. I hope tonight's complimentary gingerbread raffle ticket, one for every $20 you have donated, is a small gesture to acknowledge my deep appreciation for your support. This delicious gingerbread house was baked and decorated by Claire and John Kosh, who are not only famous for their gingerbread charity, but for their amazing advocacy. They've been involved in protecting the Gardens of Stone landscape near Lithgow, which very recently was successfully declared as a state conservation area. And I know they have also been involved in doing their utmost to protect Parramatta Female Factory and Willow Grove with a green band at Parramatta, which unfortunately was dismantled earlier this year. I wish to pay my respects to the Darramurrugal and Darug people on whose land I meet tonight, and who inhabited this area we call Bradfield for thousands of years prior to European presence. I also acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians on the country wherever you may meet, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. I wish to make a note about the federal government. They have recently released the National Voice Report that proposes 2 advisory bodies to make recommendations to the Australian Parliament on legislation affecting Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. The report's brief, however, did not allow consideration of a constitutionally enshrined advisory voice to Parliament that would require a referendum to be passed by the Australian people. However, this report includes many submissions that strongly call for constitutional reform. And I'd just like to reiterate a comment made by one of the authors of the National Voice Report, Professor Tom Calmer, where he's been known to say, here in Australia, we're fortunate enough to have one of the richest and oldest continuing cultures in the world. This is something we should all be proud of and celebrate. So what are we going to do tonight? Well, it's only a short half-hour webinar. And as it's being recorded, it will be later placed on the Bradfield Can Do Better website. So first we're going to do is show a slideshow set to music. The Bradfield Can Do Better year in review. Then we will have a short break where we can have a discussion about some of the campaign's highlights and challenges, where we really are trying to genuinely strive to ensure Bradfield can do better on climate change, political integrity, and safeguarding our ABC. So during that session, we can have an informal session and we can just put up our hands and make a comment. And then we will finish with the gingerbread house raffle draw, where Angela Tunks, a Bradfield independent voter, has arrived to draw the raffle and announce who will win the gingerbread house. And of course, as we always do, we'd like to finish with a musical piece, and we will leave with a cheerful and light-hearted musical performance held at Hump Hall that Wayne Richmond, our wonderful webinar master, is involved in. So now let's watch and see the Bradfield Can Do Better campaign year in review slideshow. So you can see we've had a really busy time since May this year. And really what we have striven to do is really highlight solutions to the climate crisis with experts such as Ian Dunlop and Professor Ogelberg, where we have tried to raise the issue of how we deal with integrity reform with eminent professors such as Charles Sanford, and of course our ABC that we need to protect from, which we began with Margaret Reynolds, who's the national president of the ABC Friends, and of course as soon as she was expected to come here, and we had the COVID lockdown. So as we all have managed in the COVID pandemic, really we have learned how to Zoom, and we have been Zooming so effectively thanks to Wayne's support. We're probably now at the next stage of our campaign where we really now have to build our volunteer base, and that's why your contribution has been so important, because it's allowed us to fund 40,000 flyers which have gone out and will continue to go out during the January holidays, because it's always been challenging. When are we going to have the federal election? And there was some talk that it was going to be in early March, but possibly it looks like it will be in May. And so in a way, one can say, let's have a break and let's have a rest. Why would I bother to be doing another webinar on the 4th of January, in not long after New Year's Eve? But the preparation for us to make a difference at the election is so enormous. The electric car vehicle engine has to stay charged. We can't pull out the plug, and we need to keep building capacity. And probably really the highlight will be with Kerry O'Brien, who's such a distinguished, such a well-known journalist, coming and being our webinar guest on the 1st of February. And that really will set, hopefully, really put us in a good position to highlight the need for a independent candidate and to do Bradfield Can Do Better. So I do have a little chat. Would anyone would like to make a comment? I'll just acknowledge people while we're here. Beverly, we've got Beverly Johnson. Beverly has been critical, a wonderful supporter for the ABC Friends, and has joined and sees that as a really important issue. Beverly, would like to say anything?
Would I?
Would you like to say anything?
No, thank
No?
you.
Okay,
I'm
so
here
you're
to
doing
listen.
well. Sid, thank you to Sid Smith, who's in our audience. Sid is one of the authors who has very kindly put his name to the flyer, and his comment is, we need a higher standard and a member who meets it. Taken for granted for too long, we need an independent who will represent our community, not just a political party. Thank you, Sid, for that comment.
Yeah. Yes, I think it's very true.
Excellent. And any other comments? No.
When,
Yeah, yes, Diane.
Janine, when do you think the election might be? Have you got an indication at the moment?
Well, it's going to be very interesting because with this Omicron, the pandemic really hitting up, things will be changing. There is a April budget that is predicted. As I said earlier, we thought it could be on the 5th of March, or the following week, but it looks like it will be a May election. But you just don't know, do you?
No.
It's really in the hands of the Prime Minister. He makes the call and he will choose the time that suits him. But I guess one of the very positive things that are happening is that there is a wave of independents that are challenging the major political party model, and that has to be good for everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here, and the state one will be in May, so I don't know when the federal one will be.
The state election will be in 2023, so that's right. It's a little bit year
So
after.
the federal will have to come after it.
Yeah.
I reckon.
All right, well, I think we're going to finish early, and that is always a good thing to do. So we're going to now invite Angela Tunks to come up and announce who will be the winner of the gingerbread house. And let me just show you the gingerbread house. Can you see it?
Very good.
All right, over to you, Angela.
Merry Christmas, everyone. There's all our lovely tickets. We'll just swirl them around. There we go. And the lucky winner. Just swivel that around a bit more in anticipation. Oh, pop that down. And the winner is
Susan Young. Oh, Susan.
Yep, Susan Young.
Okay, that would be a great. And I didn't. So that is Susan Young, and I don't know Susan Young. So this is someone who has given me a donation, and every one of those raffles is a $20 thing. So we have been incredibly generously supported, and it's my pleasure. I was up at 4:30 this morning, folding it and writing out the ticket names, and so we have Susan Young. So I will look forward to contacting Susan and telling her to come and collect her gingerbread house. So that is really exciting. So I just would like to finish very short, 15 minutes. Some people say you only need 10 minutes, but we're going to 15 minutes. That's even better. So thank you again, everyone, for your...
You'll have a cup of coffee, please. Yeah, some biscuits. Free sugars.
Thank you, Bruce, because Bruce has been in lockdown in a nursing home and he's made a special effort to come and join me tonight. So he's one of the heroes, as well as his the staff at those nursing homes who are coping with incredible challenges. So thank you, Bruce. So as I began saying, the gingerbread raffle draw was just a little gesture to say thank you to your very generous and kind financial gifts to Bradfield Can Do Better campaign. And as I've said, we've been able to fund 40,000 flyers that are being letter dropped to the Bradfield electorate, including the suburbs of Castle Cove, the entirety of the Ku-ring-gai local government area, parts of Normanhurst, Hornsby and Asquith. And that's been done by a wonderful team of volunteer walkers. And if you do want some more exercise, please contact me because there's still plenty of areas to let it drop. So thank you again. And I really do hope that you can join me on Tuesday, the 4th of January for my volunteer information webinar, and keep the 1st of February free for our renowned and highly respected journalist, Kerry O'Brien. So if you'd like to stay a little bit longer now.
Could I just say something? Is there any big shopping centres around your area you could hand out instead of walking around sometimes? Or railway stations?
That's a really good idea. We have St Ives Shopping Centre, we have Chatswood Shopping Centre, and we have Hornsby. And of course, I'm ready to go out there and do that. But I guess what's going to be interesting is just to wait and see what's going to happen with this really new situation with our health situation with the Omicron, and we'll just have to wait and see. So everything's really up for grabs. You know, it's not as we are not living in a time of certainty, are we? So thank you, everyone, and thank you for coming. And good evening. And we wish you a safe, relaxing, and rejuvenating break for Christmas and the New Year. It's me, Janine Kitson, independent for Bradfield.
All of it.
Thanks, Janine. Thank you.
Christmas list. Santa honey, kitchen. One little thing, a ring. And I don't mean on the phone, said the baby. Hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry tonight.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
All the best for
Thank you.
Christmas.
Merry
Eve.
Christmas.
Bye, Merry
All the
Christmas.
best.
Thank you.
Have a good Christmas, everybody.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.
I can see you there, Wayne, in that shot. I saw you.
Yeah. Okay.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Authorised by Janine Kitson, Suite 1A, Level 2, 802 Pacific Highway, New South Wales, Gordon 2072.